I was going through this nine rules of mind as per Marisa Peer, and that is how I am thinking that what is wrong. That is what mostly I want to check. So, nine rules of mind. Would you like to know what are those rules? And let us see uh, why this is required. This is for how your mind acts, and those are very simple rules. In fact, the whole universe is does act on very very simple rules. We think that there might be some bigger aspect to our mind and the way we think and the way things get realized, but those are not. And you will be surprised to see that those are very simple fundamental rules, and every day we know, but we discount them most often. So let us start with the rules that I have uh, gone through today. What is expected tends to be realized. This has put my mind into thought. Like from childhood, that this is one thing that I have seen, as most of you might also be observing, that when I think that some thought comes to my mind, that is because of a some kind of vibration. So do you realize that when you remember somebody, that person also remembers you, right? So that is one example that comes to my mind, and so many times I have realized that I think something and that thing happens. That might be true with many of you, and that is the rule number one. What your mind thinks, it tends to be realized. So if you are thinking about your success, why don't you think more? Because it tends to be realized, it comes true. So when you think that this might be a success, immediately your suspicious mind says that it is just a thought, it is not going to be true. If you kind of delete that thought, then of course it is not going to be true, because everything that you realize, you think, is going to be true. So that is rule number one. Whatever you think, it is going to be realized. The second rule is, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. How do you think about this? Imagination, if you think, I always forget his name, the associate of Thomas Alva Edison. He was a person who didn't have any means to work with Edison, but he has a dream to be working with Thomas Alva Edison, and this kind of always steers me inside from. Like he thought that he will be working someday. So when he came to Thomas Alva Edison, actually, what Edison didn't have anything to offer, and the person didn't have any means to ask for. So he accepted a small job, and later on he marketed the typewriter. So he became a partner with Thomas Alva Edison. So that is the he didn't have any knowledge. So if you think that you don't have the knowledge to your dream success, then it doesn't matter. Just imagine. So that is what they think, right? That is what they teach. They say that visualize your whatever your dream is, visualize enough and don't negate it, right? Don't negate it, because it doesn't appear to be practical right now, right? So that is the second rule. Then the let me tell you the third rule. Imagination is more powerful than logic. That is, again, no logic, no knowledge. Even then, because anything you dream, if you are dream like say big, if you are dreaming big, anybody will tell you that this is not logical. And daydreaming, they might say. Daydreaming is usual, like say it is encouraged because that is what you visualize, right? If you are not taking action, then it becomes a daydream. Otherwise, that visualization is a big, huge thing. So that doesn't have any logic. Whether you have some logic, whether you have a know-how how to reach that goal, that is immaterial, because when you start going taking that journey, then automatically that roadmap will be shown. So that is the third thing. Then the fourth rule of the mind is your mind always does what it thinks you want it to do. So what do you think your mind to do? What do you think your mind to do? I i want my mind to find out how I'll be a world class coach, how I'll be a world class influencer, and how I will become a billionaire impacting 1 billion people. You know, this is a very peculiar goal, and many people, they don't talk to me afterwards. They don't respond to that goal, but that is a goal within me because I'm made for a very big goal. Don't you think, all of us, sometime or other, don't we think that we are made for a special purpose and we are meant to be big, bigger than our circumstances are? Don't you think so? So that is what my mind also thinks, and that is what I want my mind to do. That is the rule number 4. Then rule number 5, your mind works to move you from pain to pleasure. So that is the survival mind, right? That is what Marisa Peer says. That is your survival mind, which always takes you, it keeps, it wants you to be safe, right? So it will always take you from anything painful to pleasure. So immediately, if you are hustling on anything, or you are taking pain on anything, it will ask you to procrastinate. It will give you a logic to not to do the things. So that is what the mind's job is, right? So it always takes you from pain to pleasure. But Marisa Pierce gives an example of tattooing yourself. When you tattoo yourself, why? You take that pain willfully to have that beauty on your body, right? So you decide what pain you want to take, what pain you want to take to realize your dream. Some steps you need to take forward, so that you the universe also comes in forward to support you, right? Then your mind responds to the pictures in your head and the words you say to yourself. This is where self talk and the pictures of visualization come. So if you are looking at certain pictures where you are thinking about those pictures, some pictures crosses your mind. Any picture that does something to your mind, it takes you to a dream world, and that is what gets realized ultimately. That is how the mind works and gets stimulated. And that is so you have to help your mind, right? Help your mind with those dreams, those beauties of nature, the way you will be, those kind of surroundings that you have in a visual board. All those things you have to help your mind with, right? And the way you talk to yourself, you are enough, I'm enough, I am enough, I am important, I can do whatever I wish. That is the self talk we need to have, right? So that is rule number 6. uh, yes. And rule number 7 is your mind learns by repetition. So so many things we know because we have repeated, that is not because we understand. So first thing, when you don't understand a thing, you just start repeating, repeat so that it becomes familiar. So one that is familiar becomes to be understood, right? That starts being understood. So repeat everything that comes to your mind. Repeat. So self affirmation, like say you are saying yourself to be good, you are saying yourself that this dream is going to be true time and again. Nobody, no matter what others say, right, you have to be crazy for yourself, right? You have to be, you can be crazy within yourself. So if that is so, then that is rule number 7. Then rule number 8 is your mind loves what is familiar. That is what just now I told, that when you uh, keep repeating something, it becomes familiar to you. So the mind loves, the mind recognizes whatever is familiar to you. And then the next is, we make our beliefs and our beliefs make us. How profound is that? Within our mind, whatever we are telling to ourselves, ultimately that is what we are going to be. So just now I was thinking, I was very angry with somebody. I was angry with somebody. So I was thinking how to take myself out of, like say, I was enjoying that anger. I was building on what, how I'll be responding, how I will retort back to that person. And I knew it was something negative which is happening in my mind just before I did this video. And we at times we allow our mind to go negative, hatred or anger or depression or fear kind of thing. Something we want to tell it by showing our response in a negative manner, right? We are not resonating with something, then we want to tell it in an indirect manner. So if that is happening, then there is a long time when you will be with anger. And ultimately what happens, this is not going simultaneously in another heads, in another's head. The person you are angry with, he is not getting those kind of thoughts. Although when you have those kind of anger within you, that is going to be felt by him. So some people have will for some time they will hide that, and they will use it afterwards when you are not ready. So don't allow your mind to go negative. You have to do the right step, where you are growing, right? Where you are growing, the next right action. That is what, while I am saying this thing here, that is where I am repeating, so it will be gone from my mind after this video is over. So if you like this video, see, these are small steps where you will train your mind, and the mind gets trained to be a support to you. It will contribute towards your growth. It will help you achieve something. So it has to focus on the solution rather than the problem. So allow your mind those kinds of thoughts, because it is anyway going to be aligned with your thoughts, whatever you are feeling, the dominant thoughts. And if it is negative, it is not going to help you. So allow it to brood over, think over the solutions, and be in that state so that it brings greater result for you. So that is a discipline. That is a discipline that we teach our brain. We train our my brain with. That is what we do. And when we focus on the solution, that is where resourcefulness is born. That is why this video is about. This is part of a discipline of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is a tool which you need to learn to have leadership growth. Hope this helps, and let us meet in another video. Thank you so much.